Discovery Houston, your timing's great. We have KU for the next 50 minutes, and we'll come aboard the middeck.
This scene from the middeck of Discovery as Tammy Jernigan starts to put on her suit, putting on the lower torso assembly, the pants of the suit now. Assisting Barry and Jernigan is Canadian astronaut Julie Payette, who will be key to the spacewalk throughout the evening as the intravehicular crew member, coordinate activities from inside Discovery's cabin as Jernigan and Barry work outside.
Okay.
We're going to keep that one on because we're going to use it.
Do we have all those things? No. We're playing on this in the video. We don't want them to pick up on a tuba.
He's coming.
All right. You happy with that? I'm feeling good.
Check combo hard line line is required.
Okay. Combo is hard line. And low. And I'm going to check com with you in a second. Check my switches.
Okay. Looks good.
Thank you, Valerie. How does that feel?
Left hand. I think it's going to have to rotate. Pitch down. Yeah. There you go.
We will do our best.
You are back. You actually got some tug on that, huh?
I did. I'm worried about my hair coming out, so I honked on it.
What'd you honk on?
My chin strap.
That's actually fine. That's one too tight.
Too tight? Okay, look. How's
That's
that?
good.
All right. So
That's at the max.
I know.
Supposed to like.
Big head.
How's that? Now the cum is really out of your way.
Com mode hard line.
Hope it's not gonna hurt your neck. How's your drink bag?
How's your drink bag? Yeah.
And how do you feel with the cum? It's okay.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
Okay.
Good drink.
Here you go. I'll take that.
Let me guide it down myself. Now I'll get it over my nose.
Fan on. Does Valsella.
Chin strap on very tight.
All right, now Julie, push down on your side, then I'll push down on my side. Okay, push down on your side.
Yeah, I have.
On my side, it rotates.
Yeah.
We're in.
Actuator.
IV.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Outside. Okay.
And this view showing Ellen Ochoa as she operates the arm. The payload deploy and retrieval systems officer in Mission Control reporting that the arm has been released from its latches and is currently being uncradled from its position along the left-hand edge of the cargo bay.
And Houston Discovery for PDRS. I'm going to do the backup drive test now.
Roger, we're looking over your left shoulder.
Okay, the hatch is unlatched. Unbelievable. Well done, Tammy. Here's the flight deck. Temperature control valve, max hot. Okay, temp control valve, max hot, ED1.
Hey, just a second.
Water on. Water is on, BB1.
Yeah, James, I don't think that was too unexpected of a comment from Tammy. She's very happy that the hatch opened this time for her.
Temperature control, it's now full hot, and water's on.
Discovery Houston back with you, and with good downlink video from the payload bay.
And Houston, we hear you loud and clear. Hey, Chris, would you deliver a message for me?
Love to.
BB1. Yeah, Chris, tell Tom Jones thanks for the good luck charm, and I'm looking forward to watching him go out the hatch on 5A.
Wilco.
Hey, Julie, I'm ready for the tether swapping. I just attached my left waist tether from the D-ring to node handrail. Get your number here. 0138.
0138, we copy.
Okay, the collar's unlocked. That's coming out. And it's out of the whip now? Do you have a hold of it?
Stand by. I grabbed it with our handle in addition. Okay, Dan, I have it.
Okay, I'm going to let it go. And come on up.
Well, here comes Dan into the field of view. He's coming back down the station and getting ready to prepare to remove the Russian-built Strela boom off of the cargo pallet. And a nice view of Tammy as she's photo documenting what they've completed up there. They've completed the installation of the U.S.-built cargo boom, and she'll be headed back down into the payload bay to work with Dan on the Russian-built Strela.
Dan, are these the ones you took from the cargo bay?
I did. I haven't taken any additional.
Copy that.
The crane that's been installed on the station, the U.S.-developed crane, now clearly visible in its position, sticking out from the mating adapter attached between Unity and Zarya, just above Tammy Jernigan's position. The crane measures about 5 feet long in its current stowed position. It has a boom, however, that can extend up to over 19 feet long.
Helen, you can stop the port motion and just come straight down.
And the crane can be moved to various locations around the station to support whatever activity might be required.
Eventually, in fact, those cranes will be put on to what we call the CETA carts, or crew and equipment translation assemblies, which are little carts that the EVA crew members will drive up and down a track on the truss part of the station in the future. And they'll be used to transport equipment and replacement parts to the work sites for the crew members to do maintenance on the station.
1-5 under EV2.
Crew's back down to payload bay now, and you can see Tammy again working off the end of the arm, preparing to remove some bolts that hold the Russian boom in place for launch. And Dan is doing the same on another piece of the hardware that will be the interface between the boom and a grapple fixture on the PMA, the pressurized mating adapter, that's closest to the payload bay.
That's a good point.
How about a wrench?
Okay. So you want to take this one?
Yeah,
and up and down to get the wrench?
let me police up a couple things, and then I'll take it.
It's just that I like translating back and forth.
No, you're good at it. We're coming up with Dan. Stop that motion, and then pick off the tether behind that one, the other part. Bring your. There you go. I'll go back and down.
Is it clear?
Negative. Bring your hand further along the tether, closer to the light. That's very good. Now down, it's cleared.
Cleared? I can just let it go from here?
That's correct.
Okay, thanks for that help, Julie. That's just the right kind of call.
Untether, but I'm holding on to it until you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay?
Okay, is it in the release open?
Stand by. Gotta always turn this thing too.
I can check.
Hold on. There's tighten. So that should be loosened.
Okay, we'll find out quick enough.
Okay?
Okay.
Voila. Thank goodness for cheater bars. Good job.
Yeah, we didn't, actually, we could have just used the wrench, the cheater bars. You know what I'm saying? The wrench itself, it would overpower the PGT, but it wouldn't have overpowered just the manual wrench.
Okay. Copy. We're going aft. Disregard. Let Dan
Yes, sir. No, that's all right. Go aft in the bay and get me away from that antenna.
Okay. Aft in the bay, please.
you want to go and watch for structure and take me to the center.
Mission Specialist Elon Ochoa inside the Shuttle Discovery now moving the 2 astronauts using the 50-foot long robot arm as they move to the rear of the payload bay.
Okay, we can go down in the bay and to the center of the bay. We're fully clear of structure. I need to go to the center about 4 feet.
We've just passed the 4-hour mark of this planned 6-hour spacewalk. Completed the first 2 major tasks.
Hey, Julie, how did you clear the motorboating we had early in the EVA?
Keep going. That's good motion.
Thanks.
Okay, you can start to take me down now. Continue. 3, 2, 1. We'll have to stop there because we need to clear a piece of structure, and I think I can reach from here. Yes, I can. Okay, thanks for the ride.
Looking good. Good. Okay, stop motion.
Great view of both crew members now. You can see Dan Barry, who's got his hardware and is transitioning up to a docking target on the nadir or bottom side of the FGB. He'll be installing a couple mechanisms around the shaft of this docking target to provide better contrast for TV views of that docking target should we dock some mechanism, some vehicle to that port in the future.
Okay, then that means that probably the shutter was...
Also getting a good view right now of the Strela boom as you see it mounted to the grapple fixture on PMA-2 down close to the payload bay of the orbiter.
Well, how about if we go and... You're coming in broken, Tammy. I suspect you're saying, let's go and install the other. Okay. Stop motion. And I am right above you. And, okay. I'm going to give you back your tether whenever you're ready.
Hold on a sec. Okay, I'm ready.
Take your pen. Okay, Julie, I'm putting the tightening knob closest to the...
Are you going to give me a tether for this one, Tammy, or do you want me to put a tether on it?
Hold on, I can give you a tether, I think, Jen, if you just wait a minute.
I will. And for the amateur scientists, I just discovered it's very difficult to whistle at 4.3 psi. Not enough air pressure. 4.7 psi, sorry.
Yeah, pressure is a little higher. Can always sing.
No, Rick and Julie can sing.
Yes, they can.
Okay, it's coming towards us.
EV1, EV2, ComTech. EV1 has you loud and clear?
I'm clear, EV2. Okay, I'm starting to hold on to the tool stanchion.
Okay, and if you keep it coming, it looks good. Careful of that clean shade.
Can you stop just for a second?
Stop, I'll stop.
I need to to turn the tool stanchion, I think, Tammy, to continue to hold on to it. I know, oh, I see what's happening. You have to get around that APFR.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to let it go past me and then come back up.
Exactly.
Okay, you can continue motion. Yeah, about feet of clearance, maybe.
Copy.
Can't go too much farther. You're into the three, two, one, stop.
How about some orbiter port? That's possible.
Okay, yeah, port would be fine.
I don't need much. A little, I'm almost there.
Port actually is the right thing to do.
Yeah. Okay, this is looking really good. After we
I agree.
went around the block a few times. Ken, let me know when you're ready for me to pull this out.
Astronaut Tammy Jernigan now opening the hatch into Unity. Discovery and the International Space Station, 240 miles above the northern Pacific. Several hundred miles east of Japan. Tammy Jernigan and Russian cosmonaut Valery Tokarev as they open the hatch. The International Space Station open for business again with after 5.5 months in orbit.
And to the crew of Discovery from the flight control room of the International Space Station here in Houston and Moscow, we'd like to welcome you aboard. It's been about 5.5 months since we've had any visitors, and make yourself at home.
Thank you, Spanky. We are absolutely delighted to be aboard. Larry and I have just opened the Nord 1 forward hatch, and we're proceeding into the node.
Astronaut Tammy Jernigan and cosmonaut Valery Tokarev opening the hatch into Unity at 8:14 p.m. Central Time. The crew now entering the module again. The last time that a crew was aboard Unity, the STS-88 crew, after having installed the module to Zarya, entered the station, entered Unity on December 10th, 1998. They closed up the module and left it sealed on December 11th after a one-day stay inside. Set up inside the module before the crew of STS-88 left were humidity absorption materials and portable fans to help control the environment inside the station during its time in orbit uninhabited. Now entering into the station for the first time, Canadian astronaut Julie Payette.
Discovery Houston for the node.
Hey, Houston, go ahead for the node.
I'm sure you're loving all that space there in Unity. We show ourselves about 50 minutes down on the ingress timeline this morning. We have a way to get into the FGB a little quicker if it'll help out Valery and Julie heading towards Mirt.
And on board the station in both modules, activities underway, maintenance activities.
Houston Station, you ready for table 3 for early comp?
That's affirmative. Go ahead, Ribs.
Okay, in table 3, everything was as expected except CTP frame sync was red and RF signal noise was red.
And copy, everything was expected. CTP was red and the RF noise was red.
That's affirmative, and we are ready for early comm, or let us know that when you're ready for early comm power down.
And station, we're powering down the early comm right now, and we'll give you a call when we're done.
Okay, thanks.
This live television showing the Zarya module of the International Space Station and cosmonaut Valery Tokarev and Canadian astronaut Julie Payette as they begin work to replace the first 3 of 18 small battery discharge devices that they'll replace throughout the mission for the Zarya module. 3 for each of the 6 batteries on the Zarya module. Currently they're working on battery number 4.
Yeah, since the mutes are done for a while, I temporarily set up the camera in the node. I don't know if you still have KU coverage, but it's set up on Dan and Rick working on ECOM.
Well, Ramo, we're receiving excellent video right now, and that'll be helpful for us to follow along. We do have a quick question for Dan if whenever he does get a moment. We didn't want to interrupt any work, though.
Okay, I told him to keep working, but he can listen and work. He's a very good multitasker.
We certainly can see that. He asked about the transceiver end cable collar. He reported that to be loose, and we were wondering if it was at the cable end or the collar at the transceiver end on the box itself.
It's on the cable at the transceiver end. It's the cable that screws onto the box, just the collar. It still appears to be seated, though.
And Houston copies all. Thanks for the words.
On the early communication system, the system seen here, the 3 white boxes, which pilot Rick Husband on the left and astronaut Dan Barry on the right are working on. They've replaced earlier, just finished replacing the radio frequency power distribution box. That's the box, the uppermost box in this view. That completed already. Now they'll be working to replace the transceiver. That's the second box in this view. Those are the 2 components suspected of being the possible problem with the system that has prevented it from transmitting communications to the ground since about mid-April. It's still able to receive communications, however.
Discovery Houston, we're back with you, and we have some good words for early comm.
Go ahead.
Yes, your hard work has paid off. You have successfully fixed the station early communication system. Congratulations. You have a lot of happy flight controllers are looking at data through early communication system.
Okay, well, that's super news.
And when we're ready, we'd like you to do...
Glad to hear, Rex. It'll be interesting to see what was the problem.
We copy that, Dan, and we'd like you to do steps 19 and 20 on 266 Delta to finish out the early comm troubleshooting procedure when you get a chance.
We'll do that, and your timing is excellent. I just finished putting the IVHM seal kit inside the area, and we'll close it up.
We copy.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're getting a really good look here at one of the mufflers that the crew on board is trying to install in the Zarya module to quiet down some of the equipment ventilation fans so that the decibel level will be a little bit more comfortable for long-time users of the space station. The measurements in the Zarya module have shown that the ambient noise from these fans and equipment is about as loud as a person using a manual typewriter. And while that's not a problem for short duration periods, over the long duration, it could be less than comfortable for crew members. So these mufflers are designed to lower the sound level so that it'll be more comfortable for the long-term crew members when they start arriving in early year 2000. Mission Specialist Ellen Ochoa and Julie Payette. Performing transfer operations, moving gear from the, it came from the Space Hab module in the shuttle's payload bay.
So some of the stuff they
Now being situated in the Zarya module.
If we got a good picture.
So we'll float on by. You can see the Toru antenna here that will jump underneath. Now we're back towards the aft portion of Zarya. Here's our station PGFC set up, EPCS.
And Roger, that good picture of the back.
And here are the mufflers that Valerie and Dan installed earlier today. The one we're looking at now was the one that was a little difficult.
That's a view of one of the mufflers that the crew has been installing on the ventilation fans for equipment. Crew showing that it is solidly secured.
You're looking at about 7 more minutes remaining.
Okay.
And be advised, this has been a great tour because it's given us a good idea of what you've been through and what you've accomplished, and of course all the work that you have left the next few days.
Yeah, thanks, Beamer. We're real happy with as much as we got accomplished today.
Discovery Houston, we are on board looking over Valerie's left shoulder with a good image in the FGB. Thank you.
This television showing the floor of the Zarya module, or FGB, Functional Cargo Block as it's technically known. Looking at the batteries and the focus of work for Valery Tokarev and astronaut Julie Payette as they begin again with the final replacements activities for the battery charge discharge units, 3 units per battery. They're working on the final 2 batteries for the station. They completed work on 4 batteries yesterday. The charge discharge units are being replaced as flight controllers have noticed that they failed to provide a proper indication of when the batteries were fully charged to the charging devices on the station, and thus tapered off their charges before the batteries had a full charge. That hasn't had an impact on the ongoing station operations, but it is desirable to change these units to provide better long-term health for the station. This is Mission Control Houston, this television live from the Zarya module as cosmonaut Valery Tokarev and astronaut Dan Barry work to complete installation of sound muffling equipment over fans in that module. They performed most of this task yesterday. Have a couple of fans left with mufflers that they'll be installing. Those fans turned off as the International Space Station passed above Russia just a few minutes ago to allow them to begin this installation. Also, Russian flight controllers confirmed that they had powered back on the final 2 batteries for which new charge-discharge meters were installed by astronaut Julie Payette and cosmonaut Tokarev. With all of that being successfully completed now, all of those units changed out for all 6 batteries on the station. This television is a view inside the Spacehab module in Discovery's payload bay. The Spacehab, a cargo module on this flight, packed with luggage and equipment that is being moved over the rest of today and during the ensuing dock days of the mission from Discovery to the station. This television live from the Zarya module aboard the International Space Station. The whole crew involved in transfer activities now. That will be the case. They're passing the midway point in this, their second full day docked or inside the International Space Station. The rest of their day will be spent on transferring gear from the Spacehab and Discovery into the modules of the station. Key crew members in that activity are astronaut Ellen Ochoa, who oversees the unpacking of Spacehab and handling of the gear to get it into the station, and Canadian astronaut Julie Payette, who oversees the stowage of that gear in its proper locations on the station modules.
Discovery Houston for the middeck.
Go ahead, Houston.
Roger, if you could turn the printer on, we'd like to send up some news in Cyrillic.
Okay, we'll put that in work. I'll give you a call back when we get it turned on. Okay, you can think about looking out the window a little bit, and there it is, the space station right in front of our aft and overhead windows. So now it's time to see what people are doing on the flight deck. You can see that Julie and Ellen are conferring over the transfer plan and have just given us an assignment. So here we go, heading on down to the middeck, and we're heading for Spacehab to pick up a bag and transfer it over to the space station. So here we come down the ladder, head first, of course. And coming around the corner, you can see we have quite a bit of stowage on our middeck. And now there's a long, straight shot right down the tunnel all the way to Spacehab. Moving kind of slow here, but now we can speed up once we get inside this tunnel, and you can see it's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes we move pretty fast down this tunnel when things are getting busy. And there's our bags waiting for us right at the end. Here we come into Spacehab, ready to pick up our bags. Now, the talented astronaut doesn't even stop, just kind of does a flip here in the air. One rotation, up, looking at the top of Spacehab, maybe a twirl just for style. Then back down, pick up a bag, and head up to either Unity or Zarya. In this case, we're going to go all the way back to Zarya. Got our bags, heading back down the tunnel. And now you can see the middeck down that tunnel. But we're not going to go all that way. We're going to make a turn before we get to our middeck to head up into the space station. We're kind of going through the airlock areas. These are the places that Tammy and I yesterday used to go outside. Got to do the right turn, and shoom, here we go. Now you can see Node up there, an inviting place, kind of warm colors, brightly lit. And we find some other members of the crew. Looks like they're discussing a stowage issue. It's Valery and Tammy, and Rick's down there in the corner. Now, of course, you want to check out what's going on the Node before you pass all the way through it. style points for not stopping, just doing a slow turn. There's Rick operating the camera as he's documenting some items that Tammy and Valeri are stowing. There's Tammy. I think she's going to do a little bit of an upside-down motion for us there, but we're busy with our bags, so we can't wait for that. And on we go. Up through the GA. Well, actually, we're in PMA 1 right now, but we're going to enter the GA in a second, head all the way up to the very top of the space station. So here we go. We're coming up through the GA area. You can see some of the mufflers that got installed today. And as we enter the main part of Zarya, you can see that there already is some stowage in place. But the bag we have is at the end, and we're kind of hurrying up real quick here because we don't want to be late for when Ellen has another bag for us to stow. Right here at the end, we drop off our bag. Again, never stopping. Quick turn. Actually a roll, so we're upside down compared to where we were last time. Feet forward. Different color socks on so you can tell your right from your left. And here comes Valeri. He's probably going to get this thing organized and help out. Yep, he's looking at our bag all right. Now we come back down into the GA,
for the gimbal flip.
heading for home.
Fantastic. Thanks for the tour, and you did that perfectly because we're going to get a gimbal flip probably in about 15 seconds.
Copy that.
This is Mission Control Houston, this television live from on board the International Space Station. This view in the Zarya module as cosmonaut Valeri Tokarev helps set up straps to secure supplies being transferred into that module. In the background, astronaut Julie Payette also assisting. She is the main coordinator in stowing away gear on board the station, ensuring that it's all secured properly and in its correct location. The crew's already transferred about 2,500 pounds of gear in the past 2 days that they've had access into the station. They'll transfer about 1,000 more pounds before they depart. This is Mission Control Houston, this television live from the Spacehab module in Discovery's payload bay as Ellen Ochoa continues through the work of coordinating the transfer of equipment from Discovery to the International Space Station. Elsewhere in the shuttle station complex, other activities underway include a water container that's being filled aboard Discovery that in preparation for moving that water container over to the station. That's one of 7 such containers that will be taken over in total during the flight, each holding about 12 gallons of water. So far, 4 containers are on board. There'll be 2 more sent over today.
2 degrees down.
Roger that. Roll within the black lines, and the pitch is 2 degrees down.
And that pitch down was necessary to get the bottom SVS target that you're seeing in.